Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Microtopia. Um, we picked up immediately where we left off in the last episode. We were going to make fabric production. We're going to do that right here. We have plenty of space. So fabric, let's take a look at that. Do we have to unlock fabric? How do we do that? Oh, objective reached. There you go, let's do it. Perfect, we had already 10. Pretty beautiful. It's a good thing we didn't try and do that last episode. Okay, so let's make fabric. Take a look at that. Okay, that needs 2. So we are going to need, we're going to have a not very effective work for a few minutes while we're unlocking new gates and things like that, new trails. So we just need 1 worker here. We'll take this, place a dispenser right here. Keep them working. Okay, so far there's not been a large worker that's made it into here, and that's very nice. I like that a lot. We've just been using the large workers to do research things. Sorry, I forgot to set my timer there. We made a new trail. Again, we're going to take what we learned in the last episode and make our elder gate, which means that as the ants age, they're going to stop working and make their way into this elder queue here, where they'll combine with other ants, form new workers, or new types of ants, and they'll have a renewed life and continue working for serving the queen, as they should. Okay, looks like we're starting to fill our fabric stockpile here, which is nice. We also need these large worker ants, or regular worker ants, to actually do some work, since again they're the only ones that we have at the moment which can perform this cutting action, plant cutting action. See here, plant cutting. The small ants, they do not have that, nor do the sentinel ants, for that matter. Looks like we're doing really good here, getting our large worker population, or regular worker population, built up automatically, which is fueling our research very nicely. How is our... Okay, so here, again, we have a opportunity, excuse me, to take our elder workers and get them out of here, use them. Last time we purchased this null trail, which is just handy to have, especially if you're going to be walking past any buildings, or not even buildings, but dispensers and things like that, where an action can be performed. The null trail is helpful to avoid that, because maybe you don't want that. And it's best to just assume that you don't want to use that, so that you don't harm yourself or waste resources doing stuff. Because every resource is finite in the game. You want to make the best use of it as possible, except for your workers, right? Doesn't matter about workers. Doesn't matter. Obviously, that shouldn't count. But we definitely want to use their time wisely, because as they age, we can use them to perform different functions, which is nice. Okay, so here's our first chance to save ourselves some headache. We caught it in time. Here's our second chance. Thank you very much. Keep it going. Alright, we're already up to 30 more research points. You love to see it. Looks like we've run out of fiber to mine, or cut, I should say. Let's keep that going. We always want to keep this in a place where, it's after resource gathering, right? We don't want to waste trips around the circle. Eventually, there will be a trail for that, but we're not there quite yet. Okay. So we also unlocked the assembler, which does take fabric to make. So again, we need to bump up this pretty quick. We don't have everything we need yet. We're looking for more trails, okay? Particular, let's grab this drone here, which is going to be one of the next things we build, but we want to get the Caste gate, timer gate. So we want to build up to 50 research points for the floor tiles there, but we also want to get this carry gate, which, well, we had enough to get, but we're only a couple ants away from that anyway. That carry gate, though, that's going to be able to help us do a bunch of things that we really, really want. And will probably be the main basis of this episode, really. So barely able to keep up, but we have a bunch of stuff here. Oh, looks like I forgot. Oh no, I did set that one. Very nice. Very good. Excellent job. We have 4 ants heading over there. Perfect. Okay, look, see this large ant made it into the queue, getting close to disaster. But I believe someone famous said, the further you are from danger, or the closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm, or something like that. I don't know. I think it's famous. Transport. Okay, so when we unlocked the drone, we unlocked something new here because the drones are able to fly. Eventually, that's going to be our ticket to the other island. Okay. So we're just waiting for 2 more of these ants to make it. In fact, I might just add a second ant in there because, you know, why not? We got a bunch of ants. And it looks like our population's been steadily growing, as well as our ability to feed the queen. As it shows by our stockpile there being unable to keep up. We need to use this second one here, which is still not going to be enough, but eventually there'll be trails for that. Let's continue to just grab all the fabric we can, or the fiber we can. Let's see if we talked about earlier with moving these flowers came to fruition anywhere useful. It doesn't look like it, but I'll go take a look over there. Oh, okay. I'll go take a look over there and over here. It looks like we got another flower close by, which is nice. A couple flowers actually. Typically you want enough workers in here that, you know, everyone can pick up a energy pod, but, you know, we are not anywhere close to that yet, so we aren't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna get as many as we can. Okay, looks like we eclipsed 30. We're gonna get a carry gate, and we're gonna move on to the next thing. Now, let's move. Where does this need to draw from? Here? Okay. So let's do that. Let's clean these up really quick. Ooh, that was nice. Thank you. Glad I didn't pick that up. Okay, we'll get those guys move on to the next one. It looks like we got plenty of iron scrap here for us in any event, which is nice. Good forethought. And look at this. This is something you love to see in the early game. Just a glut of ants. Just so many ants you don't even know what to do with them. So that means you're producing more than you need, which is pretty much the goal in any game like this. So let's take this ant and get him out of here. And we're going to pause for one of the few times because I don't want to interrupt this gate. I don't want to make this harder than it is. So, as you see, in our single use, or our single step to work gate, or our trail, all we need is a simple trail. The ant picks up its resource, raw resource, puts it in the workshop, creates something, drops it off at the stockpile. Same thing goes with this. When they create the iron ingots, or blocks in this case, one step: do your work, get the hell out of there, drop it off. But as you saw in the maybe you saw in the first episode, we created iron plates, and that requires 4 iron blocks. Similar here, to make fabric requires 2 fiber per craft. So that means our setup needs to be slightly different. We want the same hauling line there, which allows the ant to carry its resource and create and use it in the workshop here to create its resource. But instead of going around in the square that we had it originally doing, we can say only if you're carrying something you're allowed to leave. Alright? And we only want one ant in there to begin with. Let's make a little room here. We only want one ant in there to begin with. So we're going to do something that's called nested counter gates, and that's going to be the main topic for this episode. And at the end, we'll check to see if the work that we have done is compatible, or if we need to make any changes to make it compatible. So from here, we're going to take a null line, which is the carry gate. So if the ant is carrying anything, it's going to go out of here, and it's going to drop something off. Okay? We're going to have to use a hauling line, otherwise if we use the null line, it won't be able to interact with your stockpile. Now, what if it's not carrying something? So what if the ant comes in here, picks up its fiber, drops it off, and then what? What do we want it to do? Well, we want it to go back to the starting line. And we can change that by saying this says enter if carrying any material. We click on the exclamation point, and that changes to say enter if not carrying material. So if it comes in, picks up its fiber, drops it off to perform the action to make a fabric, and if it doesn't, if it's not the second fiber, so it's the first fiber, you'll have nothing in its hands. From that point, it will go back to the beginning, pick up another fiber, and produce its work. So let's see now if that works. And we're going to put this ant on here, and we're going to take it off and bring it out. Now, again, like we learned before, when you click on the counter gate, it's going to show you the trail. If the trail is a fully available, successful trail, it'll be all green. Any part that's not part of that trail will be white. So if we connect our, you can see right there. Here's an issue, right? None of that trail is connected because there's a bunch of stuff here on this single node. But if we go up here to this node, now let's see what happens. And this is one of the main issues, and I'm glad that it came up so we can highlight it. When you are making a logic gate like this, because that's what it is, it's a OR gate. So basically you're saying the worker comes in, either you have something or you do not have something. Keyword being OR. If it does have something, goodbye. Get out of there, drop it off, go back to the beginning, and start over. If you do not have anything, just go back to the beginning and start over. So we'll need to place this gate in such a way that it doesn't interfere with nodes like that. And I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see. And again, you're going to click. Perfect. So that's exactly what we want. We want the ant to be able to tell itself whether it has something or not, and what action to perform based on whether or not it has something. That's the power of this carry gate and not carry gate, right? Because it can perform two functions. And I just wanted to highlight that. So let's take a look, because again, we're in no rush. We want to see it work. So it takes the first fiber. It does not have anything. Goes immediately back to the beginning. Grabs the second one. Gets to work. And after a allotted time, picks up the fabric that it created, walks through the carry gate, drops it off, and again performs its function. And all these ants in the meantime are walking by. And good lord, look how many ants are on the queue waiting to become other ants. That's beautiful. Okay. The last thing, of course, always, after your ant has performed the drop-off function, you want to use the elder gate to get it out of there. Now, another thing you should do is put a carry gate here, but look what happens when we do that. Okay, and we're going to pause this because it's going to change stuff. So if we do that, and we put the carry gate in there, it actually takes this elder queue area and adds it to the trail. And we do not want that at all, because now if there's ever an elder in the queue, this job will never be functioning. So we're missing one critical piece before we can make that happen, or make that a reality. We can get there. I don't know if we'll get there in this episode, but this is just nuts. Okay, so did we get the, we need to get the Caste gate. That's going to be the next thing, so we want 50 research points. Let's just get our large ants to work. Oh, okay, that's fine. There's a large ant. Don't go in there. Oh, thank goodness. That small ant had already gone in there and prevented the large ant from going in there. Small ant, you're a hero, okay? Don't ever let anybody say you didn't do your best. We appreciate you for that, especially on this playthrough. Thank you. Let's just form our own little line of conga workers. But everything else is looking pretty good so far. Again, we're not in any rush because we haven't even literally scratched the surface of this game. We are just learning how the different trails function and how we're gonna utilize those trails, you know, in different ways that are gonna benefit our colony. And again, these plants respawn in different areas, and we really want them to respawn over there in the corner. And I think I might increase the amount of ants that go over here, like to 10 and 10, because they already are at 10. Okay, never mind. Let's see if we can add any more to the. Yep. Okay, good. We got one here. That's what we want to see. Yeah. Okay. I think we're utilizing all of them. Oh, it looks like maybe not that one right there. Let's get that one. Maybe not this one right here. Okay. Perfect. All right. I like it a lot. But we don't need to worry about that too much because, again, we're cruising. We're crushing this queenie. Oh, ant. You're the second greatest ant that has ever ant in this colony. I don't know how you guys do it, but I appreciate you. Okay. And as we use more of these large ants, you know, again, it comes at a price. Let's get, no, you here, you here. Maintain our fabric stockpile, or fiber stockpile. Both, really. Think about it. Okay, looks like we only need about 2 more of these guys. Oh, we got 20 fabric. Let's complete that. Now it's going to ask us to build an assembler because it's going to want us to build. Well, let's just see what it says. We can do something over there really quickly anyway. Perfect. Now, how do we use the assembler? The assembler uses a dispenser to access materials directly from a stockpile. Hook the assembler up with a dispenser that leads to a stockpile with fabric. So we can highlight the stockpile with fabric, click on the place dispenser, and add it to the assembler. That completes that instinct, that tutorial, mini tutorial. All these ants, they know what they're doing. See, they know what they're doing. They're holding it down, holding down the line. I love it. But it's going to get bad soon, and we really need that Caste gate to prevent it from happening. This will be our last inventor ant that we need. Sorry to get carried away there from what we were working on. But back to the assembler. It's going to want us to create a drone. How do we do that? Change, assemble drone, and lo and behold, that requires workers as well. So in a way, we can take our small workers, turn them into large workers as they age. As the large workers age, we can turn them into different types of specialized ants, like the inventor ant or the drone, which can fly. Once we're able to fly, we can bring resources over here to the second island. But again, we're not ready. We're not quite ready for that. We did discover that island in the first episode, so you didn't see that one, check it out. If you didn't see the last episode, check it out, because I don't know how good the audio quality was in the first episode. The last one I think was pretty good. Alright, so we're at 55. And let's see what we can get. So we want the Caste gate. Again, that's going to be extremely important, and the stockpile gate will be extremely important too, although I haven't really figured out how to utilize that quite yet. But I will. So, what do we do with the Caste gate? Well, the Caste gate, let's say we put it right here, and we send him over here. Now, what does this Caste gate do? That's a carry gate. Let's actually select the Caste gate. Now, what does the Caste gate do? It says enter if from Caste. Now, Caste is what type of ant is it? So if we select the workers, and we bring them over here, then we can do the same thing with the worker ants, the large workers. And now, since we placed it before we placed the combiner, only the small ants, in theory and in practice, will reach this counter gate, and only they will get into this combiner, and only they will combine to get large workers. But we also have allowed ourselves to have all of our large workers separated so that they can work on getting right into this inventor gate. We can also bring this over here, right? Because this also takes large workers and a fabric, and we can change it to say, okay, we want one with the counter gate, right? We take one counter gate, we put it here, and we say, okay, we want one large worker to go in there at all times, and they will always create a drone to fly somewhere that we need it. But again, that's getting carried away. We don't need that quite yet. What the hell is this line doing here for? I don't know. Get out of here. Okay, so what's next for the docket? Because I feel like the nested counter gate was the main thing we were looking at. And the Caste gate, you know, that's a good addition. We still have about 10 minutes left. Let's work on getting an actual production. Actually, let's work on getting let's work on getting an actual production line going for some goods on this island. Okay, we have a lot of stuff that we need. And again, next episode, probably next episode we're going to refactor, because as soon as we get these iron floor tiles, in fact, let's change this to make floor tiles after this. And we have another opportunity to make a nested counter gate that lets us more effectively, more efficiently utilize our ants in their production lines. And how do we do that, right? We take our counter gate, we connect it to another counter gate hauling line to allow our ants to perform work. Out of that line, we take a carry gate, we send it out if it's carrying something to a stockpile. Gets utilized from a hauling trail, and then we send that back to our that might be wrong, but let's just give it a try. Now, since the iron plate takes 4 iron blocks to create 1, we want to be able to utilize our gates effectively to utilize their production lines effectively. So again, we can change it to either be a carry gate or a not carry gate, and again, that doesn't work, I think, because it's connected to the node there. But if we do this, should all be good. And again, we're looking for the full green color for the trail. That lets us know that we made it correctly. And I think I'm going to expand this, which is the beauty of what I'm trying to show here with this carry gate, right? Because we can then combine this to make 2 or even 3 even 3 production workshops there to get our production up but at the same time, staying effective and staying efficient in what we do. So let's do this, and we'll connect these lines here, and then from here we'll go out a little bit just to make it more clear. We'll have our hauling line, we'll put our stockpile, and then from here we'll go back to the starting line basically, and from here we'll connect these two. Now if you look at this, like I said, all this is a connected trail. It's a fully completed trail that allows your workers, if I change this to 2, I will have 2 workers that can do this, but they'll only be able to get 1 iron block in here, since they don't have a way to get back to the beginning without, carrying something out. So that's why we want to do this, not carry gate, and we want to assign it to head right back to that doesn't work. We want to assign it to go right back to whatever its ant was working on. And if we click it now, we can see that it works, and it's fine. So I don't want you in there. Don't go in there. But yeah, if you go in there, so now we have 2 ants. No other ants will come in here. That's not good. That's not what I wanted you to do at all. He doesn't belong in here. Why do you have fiber? Did I put that to the wrong? Oh, I put that to the wrong thing. That's why you have a fiber. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Okay. So this one is now enter if not carrying. Enter if not carrying. Okay. Always make sure your gates are set properly so that you don't do that to yourself. It's always a good lesson. I'm glad we're learning it together. Okay, looks like we got more stuff to pick up, which is nice. We don't need him to be walking so far. Okay. We're pretty much done for this episode. There's 3 minutes left, so let's kind of go over what we did. Wow, look at this stockpile of adventure ants. So in this episode we worked on nested counter gates, which is basically the ability to have one ant perform a multi-function, a multi-step function over and over again of its own accord. We don't have to think about it. The ant does the thinking for us. We combine those this thought process into a multi-production facility to have multiple ants do that without interfering, with your main trail, utilizing as many ants as you need or want to build it whatever you want in an effective way, in an efficient way. This still has some work to do, but it's like 90% there, and we're going to learn how to make it foolproof later. I don't think we have the tools quite yet to make it foolproof, but we will get there. The next thing for the next episode is we're going to work on some more technologies. We want to clean up our colony. It's I don't mind the way it looks, but it could be it could look nicer, and that's what I really want to do. We also learned how to use the Caste gate. At this time it's really only important here. It's also important here, but we can do that really quickly. I think we have enough time. 2 minutes. Caste gate. So if we take a Caste gate and we make a short line here, and we say, okay, we only want workers to come through here. Now only the large workers will come in here, and we can use a counter gate to say, okay, at this point in here we always want at least 2 large workers working on gathering fibers. So let's see, it walks in here. We already have 2, so it passed, but every worker ant is going to walk through there now, just to verify that we're good here. We can also use our elder gate to get these large ants out of here, and you'll see that our large ants will begin marching in there, but the small ants, they pass by. It's another use for a Caste gate, because again, some functions only certain ants can do. Like for instance, The large ants, worker ants, are the only ants we have currently that can perform the plant cutting function, which we need to get fiber to work on our fabric, which we need to create assemblers, and which we need to create drones, which we might do on the next episode, but maybe just to highlight or showcase the other island and some of the things we can do there. But again, it's not necessary. We're still sort of gathering ourselves for the storm, because look at this. This is insane. We don't need all this. This is ineffective use of our resources here. Let's put like 2 or 3 in here just to get these things cleared out in the meantime. So here's another thing that we have to worry about, and that's that these will sometimes end up with resources, especially if their stockpile gets full. And you don't want them walking around because they can't go into the machines as long as they're carrying something, and we definitely do not want that. Absolutely do not want that. That blocks everything up. So that's the end of the episode. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Have fun. Goodbye.